If you're a small business owner and you've ever said the words, "Ugh, I forgot to send the invoice. Did I follow up with that person? I know I'm supposed to be working on their project, but I can't remember where we are in it." Then this video is for you. These moments are not personality flaws, and they are definitely not signs that you are bad at business. They are symptoms of missing systems. And the good news is systems are completely fixable. Today I'm going to walk you through 3 specific systems that every creative entrepreneur needs inside of their business. And not like someday inside of their business, like right now. These are the 3 systems that when they are missing cause the most chaos behind the scenes. When they are running properly, make the biggest difference in how your business runs day to day. I'm Lauren with The Smarter Creative. Let's get into it. Okay, so the number 1 system I want you to have inside of your business is some kind of inquiry, capture, follow-up flow. Something that captures people who say, yes, I'm interested in working with you, and then is able to qualify them in some way to get them being a booked client. This can look all kinds of ways. You can use all kinds of tools to do it, and there's no right or wrong way to make it happen other than not having any system at all. When somebody finds you on Instagram, they find you on Google as they're trying to find somebody that does whatever you do. They go to your website, they go to your link in bio, and there's some kind of contact, book a call, email me. Sometimes it's just a message like email me if you're interested, or it has just doesn't even have a button. It's just your email address that's listed. Some way you need people to say, yes, I want to work with you. It's like they are walking down the street of a row of boutiques and you need them to be able to enter the door. You need to make sure your door is not locked, that you don't make it impossible for them to enter, to say, I'm interested in buying with you, right? Like we're getting them from cold prospect to warm lead. We want them into your place of business, letting you know that they want to work with you. Maybe it's a form or a call or an email that you get and you have to reply to. Maybe it's a manual reply or you create the system to support it. What I like about having an automated system around a new inquiry that comes in, or at least some kind of automated message if they complete a contact form that goes out letting them know what to expect in when to hear from you. Even if you want to personally reply to every single person that comes through your door, you want to be the first person to reply. It's like the door opens and that jingle bell goes off. So they know that somebody in the back was notified that somebody just entered the store. I feel like a generic automated email that goes out to somebody who enters is that bell that tells them, okay, somebody's going to know I'm here, even if I don't get that personal welcome to our place of establishment. Something goes off to let them know that you've seen that they've entered into your store. I would say a system could even, if somebody submits a contact form saying, okay, I think I want to work with you, you could have a automated email that goes out that's in your voice and it says the same thing that anybody walking into the store would be. Hey, here's my pricing and services guide. I'm going to look over your inquiry. I'll be in touch if I have any questions. But if you want to hop on a phone call, we can do that here. Go ahead and find a time that works. So you're basically training it like you would a salesperson who's working your store. It's not you, but you've trained them in your voice to respond to somebody entering the store. And you don't know them enough when they just walk in to be able to give them a customized reply, right? It's just like that automatic, hey, I see you. I can't wait to chat with you. I can't wait to learn more about your project, about your shoot, about your wedding, about your brand, about what you're struggling with right now. I can't wait to hear all about it. But in the meantime, let me just acknowledge you. And then hopefully you have some kind of next step in your inquiry flow. Maybe it is to hop on a call. Maybe it is to send over pricing. Maybe it is to have an email exchange to find out more, or some kind of questionnaire, or I don't know. There's so many things that it could be for your business. But whatever it is in that inquiry step before they're a booked client, there's some kind of system in there not lose them in that process, to get them to continue down the funnel until they're a booked client. This is what we want the system for, something to hold you so you don't lose out on those warm leads, to nurture them, follow up with them, remind them that you're still there for them. Depends on what your buyer's turn is, like how long does it take them to make a decision from going from a warm lead to actually booking. Are you a big investment? Does it need more time? Is there something that you could get started with that's a smaller package? Maybe you're a stationary person and you really want to set up an appointment to show them options, cast a vision for what working with you could be like. So many things that could happen. And to have a system that supports you through here is good for you, but it's also good for them, because a lot of people, they don't mean to ghost you. They just got distracted. They got busy. Maybe they're looking at other people. And so for you to automatically have something that follows up with them is on point. I think every small business owner needs it. It just can't go to inbox purgatory. I reached out to a lawyer here in town thinking about trademarking something, and I had no idea what the process was going to be like or anything. So I sent through a contact form, and then I got an email probably 24, 48 hours later from somebody specific with a very lengthy, very informative email that shared everything I needed to know, shared next steps. Great. I never heard from them again. And I didn't reply because it was a lot of information to take in. Like, I just needed like one step. I didn't need 5 steps. And so for me, the consumer, I fell off because it was just too much. And had they continued to reach out, hey, did you still need trademark support? Hey, do you want to swing by the office? I probably would have said yes to one of those follow-ups that maybe would have gotten me to be a booked client. But right now I'm in purgatory as an inquiry, just sitting nowhere. Like, I was responded to, but I'm not a client of theirs. I've never given them any money. So can we get a system to support people from walking in to your store to actually getting them to give you money and check out with you? Can we just get a system there? That's system number 1. And I will say my favorite tool to handle that system is definitely Dubsado. I am a certified Dubsado specialist, but it does this so well. Ugh. Any CRM probably does, but Dubsado has my heart because it can be so tailored. It automatically sends emails at the timing that you specify. It will send appointment links if you want to chat with somebody, not on the first time. You reach back out to them, maybe on the 3rd time. It's like, okay, enough time's passed. You haven't said yes yet. Do you want to hop on a call? Like that. Dubsado supports that whole inquiry process so well. And your follow-up system to those leads should work hard. Like, it should work harder than you do. And once you get it set up, it just runs. You don't have to touch it again unless your business completely changes. You get to set it up once and then it just runs, turns those warm leads into booked clients. Or even if it doesn't turn them into booked clients, hopefully it follows up with them enough for them to tell you why they didn't move forward. So you're not just guessing why somebody reached out and then you never heard from them again. Are you out of budget? Did they go in a different direction? Was the timeline too hard? There's so many reasons why people don't move forward with you, and as much as you can get data from them, so you know, it doesn't mean anything about you. It doesn't mean anything that you're out of somebody's price range. Maybe that just means you need to be more clear about your pricing before somebody even comes in. If they enter your store, like a restaurant, before they enter the door, you have your menu up on the window that says, here's our pricing. So they're not confused. It's not all market pricing. And you walk in and you don't know what market pricing is for a steak or a piece of fish. So you just are like, I don't know what that means. And you go in and you're like, oh, that's what that means. Oh yeah, no, that's not in the budget. And then they slowly back out. We're not trying to put people in those situations. Okay, system number 2, I think every creative entrepreneur should have really clear is the actual booking process. How do you get a quote to your client? How do they approve it? How do you get a contract signed? How do you take payment? That process needs to be systematized for you, but also for your client. If it's easy to say yes to book to give you money, the quicker you can get that through, the faster you're making money and the easier it is to work with you. This process is able to be smooth. It doesn't have to be chaotic. You don't have to use 4 different systems. You can. There are ways to very scrappily send over a Canva PDF link of a custom proposal. They reply back, they say, yes, that's great. You use a Google Doc and send it out for e-signature or Adobe. They sign it, and then you send off a invoice through QuickBooks or Wave or Stripe or whatever, and then they're able to pay the invoice online or send you an ACH. Maybe you have like your bank information that they're able to transfer money into, and then you have to track whether or not they actually sent the money. So yes, you are capable of having that booking process be systematized using it in whatever systems you already have. Or if you use something like Dubsado, where they have this 3-step booking process where it's the proposal or the quote that once the client fills that out, it populates both the contract and the invoice, and they're able to select a package. Let's say you have 2 different options for them to book, or maybe it's 1 package plus add-ons. They can pick what they want. Or you're giving them 1 option already selected for them. You're presenting it to them, right? So they confirm or they select, it populates their contract. So you only send 1 link to them and they're getting the quote, the contract, and the invoice all right there. You're not having to do any different work. You are not having to create the contract. You are not having to create the invoice. Your system does it for you. Unless you have a VA that's really good with this stuff, I don't understand how small business owners who are booking 3 to 4 clients a month do a manual send for all of this, a manual proposal, a manual contract, a manual invoice. I just like, my head wants to explode because it doesn't have to be that hard for you or that hard for your client, right? Because the 1-click 3-part booking process that Dubsado does, it's not only easier for you, but for your client. You're just sending them to the one place. And then if you set it up right, you can have a follow-up system if they don't do one of the 3 steps. If they don't fill out the quote or pick their packages or confirm, it can follow up. If they don't sign their contract, it can follow up. If they don't pay their invoice, it can follow up. All of that happens automatically for you. It's just chef's kiss. So good. If you want to see what like Dubsado proposals look like, I'll link a video up above so you can get an idea of how they can operate. You can make them to look however you want. I love taking a proposal and matching it to my client's websites. So it's a seamless process from being a warm lead, walking into the building and cashing out. Like everything matches. It's not disjointed on fonts and colors and things. Like it's a seamless process. They never felt like they got handed over to a janky system. Like it's actually a system that matches the beautiful storefront, the beautiful store, like what they're going to get is all beautiful. Your system can match the beauty of your business. The third system I want to talk about is project visibility. This one doesn't overly get talked about, especially if you're a one-man band, because you're just doing the work. But for you to have a system that at any point you can look at and understand where the client's project is at, so you're not having to hold that all in your brain, is something that, again, not only serves you, but it also serves your client because they're not getting forgotten about. Dubsado is great for this because you can use your project statuses, create workflows so that somebody comes through the pipeline, you can see where they're at. Are they a lead? Have you sent the proposal, the contract? Are we waiting on payment? Are they recently booked? Maybe you have your venue and it's like who's 60 days out or who's 2 weeks out. You can look at these pipelines at the top of your Dubsado and get a handle on where all of your projects are. And Dubsado is great because it doesn't limit you with like how many open bookings you have. You can have a lot of open bookings. So to have a really good system to figure out where everybody's at as far as payment, timing in your pipeline, have they booked specific calls yet, all of that. Like your Dubsado can be built to support you to see where they are at in the process of working with you. I know it's not a big deal if you just have 2 or 3 clients. You can keep those in your head, but I recently had a client who does home organization, and she does it 2 to 3 hour blocks at a time. So she can open up a client's project and see how many 2 or 3 hour blocks they had and count where they're at in their package. If they got 10 hours and they've already gotten 5 2 hour bookings, it's like, okay, they're done. This next upcoming booking, you'd have to book again if you want more hours. You can see everything that you need to know about the client's project by going into your one system. And I really like the fact that it's Dubsado to hold all of that. Now, Dubsado might not be the only place you hold some of it. Dubsado's not great, in my personal opinion, with some of the nitty gritty, bigger piece moving of projects. So I think it's great if you can keep the phases of your project pretty broad with all of your clients. But if there are very granular tasks that you have to do with your clients, having a different project management tracking place could be really valuable to you. And what you use for that, I would say, depends on if you need your clients to come into it or not. And every business is just so different. I use Notion to stay organized. I tried ClickUp, I tried Asana, I tried Trello. Notion worked best for my brain. So you have to do whatever works best for your brain. And if you're bringing your clients into it, what's going to be best for them. There's some tools I really enjoy, like Basecamp for creative businesses who need a lot of back and forth, because your clients can get an email notification and reply to the email and it'll go back in the feed for Basecamp. Like, they never have to open the app. They just operate out of an email, but you can see everything on the back end of where the project is at. I use Notion mainly for internal tracking for me and my team to know where everybody's at in the process, but I do approvals inside of Notion. I'll write canned emails for a Dubsado build out that I want my client to look over before I put it in their Dubsado in case there's wording that's wrong, things that need to be changed. It's easier to change it in Notion than to change it in Dubsado. So I use Notion for all of that. And it's so much data, I can't just use Dubsado for those approvals. Like, it has to be written somewhere else. I use my Dubsado to send out those for approval. I send out my forms for approval and my canned emails, which are housed in Notion, but I use a Dubsado form to send those out. I use the workflows to create tasks for me when it's time to send those out for clients. I'm reminded, oh, we're a week in, you should be doing this step of the project. My system is reminding me where I'm at with that project type. Depending on what I quoted my client for, it's going to remind me to do all the things. You cannot grow or manage a business that you cannot see. You have to have visibility of where your clients are at, where your projects are at. You have to know in order to forecast your workload, in order to make good decisions about what you want to offer next. What are you launching? You have to be able to see it and have visibility in it. To recap, the 3 systems that make the biggest impact for creative entrepreneurs. First, the lead capture and follow-up, so you stop losing these warm leads due to slow response times. 2 is the booking and payment system, getting your client experience seamless from a saying yes to actually paying you. And 3rd is your project visibility, actually having project management, knowing where your client's projects are at any point, being able to track it with it not all living inside of your head. And if you don't have any of these, you do not have to build them overnight, but I would pick the one that's causing you the most pain. Like, it's obvious that things are falling through the cracks with your leads, with your bookings, or with your current clients. Like, where are you dropping the most balls? And starting there to streamline it, because that's most likely the thing that's costing you the most money. If you want help building these out inside of your Dubsado, that is what I love to do. I would love to support you in it. I have playbooks if you want to DIY it, but I also have a micro build that streamlines the first 2 systems that we talked about, the nurturing of the leads and the booking process. My micro Dubsado build, it's called my Sip and Setup, is one of my favorite offers because it gets you streamlined quickly for the parts that drop a lot of balls that can get you converting your clients faster. What it doesn't include then is like your project once they're booked, everything that happens for them. If you have lots of calls that need to happen, questionnaires that go out, it stops with the welcome guide. And then you can manage with your project visibility either manually or you set up an automation yourself. I also have like full Dubsado builds, but like let's just start here. If you want your systems parts 1 and 2 built out, that's my sip and setup. I have information down below, but if you ever want to hop on a clarity call to learn more about Dubsado and how it can help your business, and if I'm a good fit to help you with it, we can hop on a free call, which is linked down below. I'd love to know if you are missing one of these 3 systems, which one are you missing? Or if you have one that you are absolutely proud that you have set up properly, let me know. I read each and every one of your comments and I just love hearing from you. And if this video was helpful, give it a like and please subscribe to my channel. I post every week about practical systems content for creative small business owners who want the back end of their business to actually work. I'm Lauren with The Smarter Creative, helping you work smarter rather than harder inside of your business, and I will see you next time.